Hello everybody, this is Andrew. Here we are going to talk about ArtCam. What is ArtCam? What does it mean for customers? What are some things maybe you can highlight, and just to give you a better idea of what to talk about. So essentially ArtCam is a comparable software to VCarve. It is helpful for nested based manufacturing. It's helpful for making 2D models, 2D engraving, and similar. There is a post-processor built into ArtCam for the FMT that's been proven and tested. We know that works. But a reminder that ArtCam does come standard with every single FMT. So as you're talking to someone, if they've never used software before, they're not sure what to do, they have software with the machine on day one for free that they can use. And they actually will get ArtCam maybe 3 weeks to 2 weeks after their deposit. The order will go in and they'll actually receive that before their machine does ship, so they can mess with it, try to make some parts. I wanted to give you though a rough idea of some of the things you can do within ArtCam. So let's just make a 4x8. We'll go in inches and we'll do okay. So all this is going to do is create our work surface, which is a 4x8. I like the 2D view better. It's just easier to look at. Some things that I would definitely let people know is if you want to do something, or if they need to do something along the lines of nesting, maybe even it's just something simple, or just some crazy shapes they want to make and they just want to utilize as much of their space as they can, we can do that within ArtCam. We've now designed this. Open up our nesting tool here. What do we want to nest? We want to nest all of this, so we want to make 2 of each one. If we have to go to 2 sheets, we can, but we'd rather do it with just one. Again, they can also edit their tool diameter, tool path clearance, edge clearance. Go to nest. Okay, and there it is. So we now have nested all of our parts on here. The next step is we can then actually come through and do tool path. To make it really easy, just so we can actually get a good idea, is we're just going to do a profile toolpath. Let's select everything. For a tool, just to make it really simple, let's just pick something like an end mill, just so we can see an output. Say we'll start at no inches, or R0. Let's say we go 1/4 of an inch in. There's a few different options we can do. Calculate now. Okay, so we have now made that toolpath. We'll then go into toolpath. We want to save the toolpath we just made. Instead of calling it, let's call it ArtCam Dealer Test Engrave 2. I made one earlier and I think this one's going to be a little bit better. I'm going to save it to my desktop. Notice the post is called Freedom Machine Tool ATC. Okay, I press save. We can now find that in our ArtCam toolpaths. Here it is, ArtCam Dealer Test Engrave 2. And there is our program that we're ready to take down to our machine and actually create the part. Another thing you can do in ArtCam that I personally really like is, let's get rid of this nesting. Let's say we're done with this. Let's delete all that. Okay. All right, so then another thing we can do that I think is helpful to mention to people, maybe they're not making something as tangible as cabinets, or maybe they want to even branch out and just do some test signage and similar. One thing we can do is actually go to Vector. We can import, let's say, a logo. And now we've got our FMT logo on here. So we can actually make that larger, boom, like that. Okay. We're then going to easily ungroup it. And what I want to do now is I want to just cut out the actual logo itself, because what we're going to do is make an engraving. What I'm doing right now is I'm just grouping together some of these shapes such as the R, so that the R and the outside are not two different things. Okay, so let's go to toolpath again. This time let's go to Smart Engraving. We're going to select all of this. For our tooling list, let's put something like, again, none of these are perfect. They're just to give you an idea. Let's go in, 1/8 of an inch. We've already selected everything there. Calculate now. And as you can see, we now have a toolpath made. Could that be better if we used a smaller tool? I mean, of course you can. We can always mess with that. But, I do want you to just see, though, that we can now even take that exact same toolpath, save toolpath as Smart Engraving, which is just what we just did. We could name it something else to make it easier. And let's just call this Art Cam Dealer Smart Engraving. We'll save it on our desktop just like we did. Exit, ArtCam Toolpaths, ArtCam Dealer Smart Engraving, and there is our file ready to go into our machine. So again, I hope this has helped you maybe a little bit to just see what ArtCam actually is, how you should be telling people about it. I would tell people it is essentially a substitute for VCarve. VCarve, from talking to people, VCarve's got its pros and cons, so does ArtCam, but it is a software that is free. They can certainly start to at least use and play around with it, and it's just an alternative way to do things. Those are two examples. We can also do reliefs. We can actually raise this up. We can model in 3D if we really wanted or needed to. So again, every FMT comes with it. So as you're talking to people, I would certainly just mention to them, just so they know it's an option and it's standard, so to say. If you do have any questions about ArtCam, feel free to write me an email or give me a call, and I'll be happy to help you or give you an example or talk to someone about it. All right, thanks so much for watching, and let me know if you need any help.